and good evening. It's been a while since I've been here. Just give me a minute to get to my table. So, I'm back. Well, I was here all the time really, but just not able to do any Facebook Lives. For anybody who doesn't know, my name's Jenny McCormack, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. So normally I've been doing Facebook Lives Monday through to Thursdays since early 2020. And recently I've had to take a little break from that whilst having a full hip replacement. That took place a week last Monday. D-Day was the 5th of December. And so I'm just taking a little bit of time to get back up and running with my Facebook Lives. I hadn't appreciated that I wouldn't be able to sit down comfortably for a while, for starters, just because of the angle of having my keeping my hips straight and the height and everything else. So I wanted just to hop on this evening because I've been promising you the cards from our December card class, and I finally finished those yesterday. And so bookings for this class are open, and obviously because of the current situation with Royal Mail, I've still got 3 parcels that haven't gone anywhere since last Saturday, despite them being 24-hour and tracked. So obviously nothing's going to arrive before Christmas anyway, and that wasn't my intention. So this class is an all occasions class that will ship after Christmas. The colour palette is very neutral, but what I like about this is you can spice this up just by adding a splash of colour of your choice. So whatever you fancy adding to this, you can really perk this up. Now I can see that some people have joined us, so I'm desperately trying to find my way because I can't, I'm sort of static here, can't move very far. Okay, so hi Kerry, oh Heather, thank you for joining us, and hi Karen. So thank you all. So I just wanted to run through the cards. So this will be fairly brief because I'm not allowed to sit in one position for very long, and whilst I can move around a little bit on my chair, it's not particularly practical. So the suite that we're using is called Abigail Rose. The stamp set that goes with the class is called Cottage Rose, that you can see from here, and it has some lovely floral images and some nice sentiments that go with it. There is a series of dies that go with it too, and you can purchase these optionally to go with the class unless you've got them already. And this one here is interesting because this cuts out a complete pattern that happens to match one of the papers, which I'll show you. You've got the open dies that cut out these elements here, and then you've got a series of other smaller open dies and leaves as well that make it a really good all-round set. And I have teamed this up with the Fabulous Frames dies. I purchased these recently when we had the sale on, and I just wanted to show you these, so you'll see some of these in the samples. So the Fabulous Frame dies consists of this large die here, and I know you can't see it in great detail, but it has beveled edged and a little dotted line here. It cuts out the whole frame and obviously the piece in the middle and the outside. We have a smaller frame here which has got some detailed embossing included on it, and again it cuts out this middle panel. We have 2 sets of really useful corners, and so these are like photo corners, and I love these for making vintage style cards or just adding a little bit of detail to your card. There's 2 types, and what I like is it's one die cuts out all 4 corners in one go, so you don't have to repeatedly put it through. And then this one is more plain, but it's got beveled edges, so I'll show that to you. And then we have a small, like a little book plate, and then a really fancy design oval again with stitching and embossed lines in it. So I've pulled these in together, and if you haven't got any of those, you can order those at a preferential price if you order the glass in a box. Right, we're going to leave that large die out. Okay, let me show you the papers, which are the star of the show really, and you can match this with any of your own sentiments that you have. So there are, you will get 12 6x12 sheets in your pack, so basically half a pack of paper. So this is half a pack, and it will come cut down the middle, and depending on what the content is of that, I may cut around it so that you can fussy cut this. Now you can do colouring with almost any, in fact almost any of these pieces of paper. I haven't actually coloured this one as part of the class, but I have got some samples with those coloured. So the colours are white, vanilla, crumb cake, early espresso and black, and there's a hint of petal pink in there as well. But with these monochrome ones you can really change up the look by adding colour, as you will see. So we have this one here with the detailed floral, and if you like colouring in, that's a great one to do. There's this one here with crumb cake and like poppy centres. We've got this one here with a slightly smaller floral detail, which is espresso on crumb cake, and the background looks like it's textured as well. Looks like it's almost Hessian. We've got this one here which has an all-over design, and this is the clever piece because this die from the set actually cuts out elements of this paper. So we've got this one here, cuts that out, and that is then repeated across the page. So you can cut this one out as well, and this one, and also you can cut it out of plain card as well. So that's a very clever use of that die. We then have these lovely tulips, and this is similar but not exactly the same as a set of papers that we had in black and white. May have been last year or even the year before, and this has got early espresso backing, and this is white. And then finally we have a different floral in crumb cake on, with a little bit of vanilla on white. So that's one side. And then on the reverse we have some smaller patterns. There's a little bit of smoky slate in here as well. We have this one here with the tiny little bitsy flowers. This one here with the leaves, that's in smoky slate. This might be one of my favourites. Now if you like doing vintage cards or scrapbooking, this is an equivalent to an old ledger. So you've got columns here and you've got writing, you've got a little bit of that petal pink in there and crumb cake, and the writing's fairly illegible. I'm sure you could work out a little bit of it. Okay, and then we've got lovely petal pink pinstripes, and then finally smoky slate design. Okay, so I'm hoping we're still live. Yes, I think we are. Right, let's hop through and show you the card designs. I have to be really careful not to let anything go onto the floor because I can't pick it up if it does. Okay, so there are 6 card designs and a bonus, plus the other cards that I have designed that didn't make it to the to the class. Sometimes you have an idea and then you find a better method or a different way of doing it, so a couple of cards have had to cut, if you like. So let's start with this one here. So this is very vanilla. Now you can interchange very vanilla, white and a colour. So you could easily have picked up a different colour, a green or a pink or anything else behind this. You get the gold die cuts, you get some of this lovely ribbon, and then I've just added a happy birthday sentiment to it. Hi Lynn. I'm hoping you can see that okay. So that's card number 1. Now this one is the one that uses that die over the paper. Now I'm not going to sit and cut out all of these designs for you, but what I can do is cut a piece of black card with this die, and you can then just overlay that onto that patterned paper. And so I think there's at least 4 pattern sets of that. You'll get 2 pieces of this in the set, and obviously if you buy the dies you can carry on and do more. And you can do lots of other things with this. You can obviously swap out, cut it out in a pink, a green and a yellow, for example, and interchange those elements. So I've left that one plain because I thought it made a really nice sympathy card, but equally you could make it as a birthday card. If I just lift it up, you can see the detail. Reminds me, hi Scylla, reminds me very much of sort of black work, where you've got the stitching in just black and cream or black and white. Here you can see those lovely corners and frames. This is actually the postage stamp punch, and then this is from the stamp set. So I've used that lovely paper behind, just laid the frame on top, and I've added those lovely gold corners, so you'll get all of those in part of your pack. And I don't know how much you can see of that, but they're all sort of inlaid and embossed. It's like old-fashioned photo corners. We have this one, so a little bit of highlighting or spotlighting, and all I've done is framed an element of this paper, but you could choose any of the papers if you wanted to. And I've added that frame and a little bit of the ribbon, and I'm undecided whether that's going to have a sentiment on, which is why at the moment it doesn't have a sentiment. And I've just used Real Red and Mango Melody Blends pens, but this you could change any colour. So you could lay it onto a purple backing, for example, and have Highland Heather colouring in. You could have red for the tulips, you could have some blues, yellows, really anything you want. And because you're only colouring a small amount, it makes a nice quick card. And out of these sheets of paper you could make 6 of these cards. Obviously you would need 6 frames to recreate that, but there's that one there. This one is the same paper, and what I've done is I've just chosen to use the light petal pink and colour in those flowers. Again, just change this colour as you wish. I was thinking it would look really nice in any of the blues, the bright blues for example. I think that would look lovely because you could have that Tahitian tide, for example, with Tahitian tide at the backing, with the dark layer in between. And then again I've just added some ribbon in that one and just cut an edge off a circle. That's from the Stylish Shapes. And then we've got this one here. So this uses that smoky slate backing, and I've just used two. This is in basic grey, and this is the other design. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. It's got an embossed element to it. Probably not in this light that you'll see it, but it's like a scroll, embossed scroll. And then this is just this piece that has been run through some thin whisper white card and some basic grey, and then I've scrunched this up and then just layered those large flowers. So one large, two small, and then sort of one in the middle. So a lot of use out of that die. And then finally, this is the bonus one, which is the black elements that get cut out from here. I have a method of holding those into place, so I will cut those out, and I have some special like cling film. Hi Moretta, oh Maureen, sorry. Cling film that goes on the top, so you will get that in its position if you want to do this card, and then you're literally just going to pop this onto a coloured layer. So that could be any colour you want, so you could have a nice bright pink, polished pink, melon mambo, and it looks like it's recessed, but in fact this is, the black is the highlight, and it's the black pieces from here. You might notice that I've lost an odd piece here and there, but in the scheme of things, if you weren't comparing, I don't think you'd notice at all. So those are the card designs. So I say 6 plus this one, because not everybody may want to do this one. And I did have plenty more, and the colour palette that you take this to is really, really up to you, because just by colouring in the flowers in purples and mauves, or swapping this out, swapping the papers round, colouring different tulips, any of those, you can really make this step up if you want to. And great for male and female. I like this one particularly. I had a couple of versions of this that I did a book fold card of this with this opening out, and I swapped it out for this one. But as I say, any of the extra cards that I've done will be shown as part of the class tutorial and videos. So bookings for this class open this evening. I will be sending out an email to everybody just to give you the information about the class, which is £20 posted to your UK address. You can take the class in a box just online for £10. If you've already got the products, you can just take the tutorials. The online videos will go up over Christmas, if not before, if I get the opportunity. And then the tutorial class that you can join if you wish will be the 14th of January. I'm not planning on running an in-person class. I won't be sufficiently mobile until the middle of January, and I'll save that then for our, as long as I'm fit enough, for our January in-person class, which will be the last week of January. So I hope you like those designs. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thanks, Kerry. I'm going to be very limited what crafting I can do, only because my movement is limited. I will be sharing the cards that I receive in the post, so I will pop on. It won't be as frequently as it has been, and of course we have Christmas somewhere in the middle of all of that. Sort of lost count of the days. But I know we are currently at, I think, the 15th, she says, looking at her phone. Yes, we are, 15th of December. So I look forward to catching up with you soon. Our Let's Get Creative event, which is in February, bookings for that are also open. That's our all-day event, which anybody is invited to come to. And if you need details of that, you can just hop to my Facebook page. And I'll be sending information about that out really soon. So thank you so much for joining me. I've missed being here. It's nice to have people still following me. It's amazing what a difference it makes when you step back a little bit, but I just wasn't in a position to even do any posting, so that just goes to show, doesn't it? I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to bounce back straight away, like you do. Anyway, thank you once again. Do take care. Enjoy your evening if you're watching this in the evening. If you're watching this on catch up on replay, then thank you. And if you need any more information about our class, just send me a message and I'll see what I can do to help you. Thank you so much. Do take care, and I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.